All right. Hello. Welcome back to the Jonah and Leandro movie podcast.
With Leandro and Jonah.
I'm Jonah.
I'm Leandro. And this is our movie podcast.
The music's the best. Thanks, Dr. Nick.
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Nick. I actually got to meet Dr. Nick for the first time the other day, which was great because I could not put a face to the name and the music that we so lovingly have coddle us into every episode of this podcast. So thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Hey, Jonah, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm missing an appendix, but otherwise I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, life updates. This podcast is now one appendix short.
Yeah.
So if you're looking forward to a 2 appendix podcast, unfortunately, this is now just a 1 appendix podcast. So,
yeah.
If that bothers you, if you're not comfortable with that, you can turn it off. But
yeah, you can send us an email.
Yeah, we're open to your feedback. There is no way to turn it back into a 2 appendix podcast, but
yeah, we could do like a heist.
That's
maybe
true.
that's a good movie idea.
The big appendix heist.
Yeah, like the guy, like you gotta like do a heist to go back to the hospital to find your appendix.
But it's your infected appendix. It's the same one. It's not like you're trying to get a better appendix. You're just like, I want it back.
Yeah, because the appendix useless anyway.
They took that from me, and I want it back.
Yeah, it's actually Batman.
This summer, Jonah Blaser wants his appendix back. And he's going to do anything he can to get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was about it. Today on the podcast, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a bit of a Q1 and Q2 movie catch-up.
Quarter 1 and quarter 2.
That's it for the uninitiated. Because I'm a business guy, you know. We're talking Q1, Q2. But we thought we would do a bit of a little recap of the movies that we saw because we have seen so many.
Yeah, we've seen a few movies this year already. You know, it would be nice to do like an episode for each movie, but you know, just the way life and schedules go, it's kind of hard. So we thought we would just do the movies that we've seen so far together, and there's a few movies that we haven't seen together.
But I think a fun way to get into this would be, let's go movie by movie.
Yeah.
And just give me a word that you think describes how you felt leaving that theater. Like, what was something that movie made you feel?
Yeah.
Single word. We'll just like rapid fire it.
All right.
And then we'll pull it back a little bit and go more in depth into the movies after we give a bit of that impulsive summary.
I already know what my word is for the drama.
The Robert Pattinson Zendaya movie by A24.
Christopher Borgli? Uh-oh.
You know what? I didn't learn how to read, so I can't even tell you.
Oh.
I just watch movies. Subtitles? Who knew them? I don't.
Christopher Borgli. How do we say his name? It's not there. How to say... We have to say it correct.
No, you're right. We do have to.
I don't know if I trust the AI. The AI says Borgli. I don't know if I don't trust the AI.
Borgli?
It's probably, let's go with Borgli.
Okay, so the first movie up on the docket is Chris Borgli's The Drama, the spicy little A24 ditty.
Yeah, I already know what my word is for that.
All right, hit me with it.
It was confusing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a word, I think I might pick heartwarming.
That's interesting too.
Yeah. We saw this movie together.
Yes.
In the spirit of the podcast.
Yes, at the Fox Theater, which is an amazing theater in Toronto in the beaches.
Support your small indie theaters.
Such a good theater.
We love a good one-screen movie theater.
Yeah, I said it was confusing. It made me feel confused, not because I was confused about the movie and what it was about, but I was confused of how I was like, how am I supposed to feel because of like the gun stuff? I'm like, it's obviously a very intense subject. Like, is it okay that I liked the movie and like thought it was funny, like, but it's obviously a serious topic, and like, and I talked to some people about it and came to the conclusion that Yes, like I'm allowed to like it and think it was funny and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I could tell like in the theater there was a bit of that mixed reaction where I mean, seeing it at a theater like the Fox sort of lends you to a certain crowd that is like going to it to see like a movie, you know, like they're not just going to a random like AMC or a Cineplex. So I think most people didn't know what they were going to get into.
Yeah, I had no
Spoilers
idea.
for
I
these
had no
movies,
idea.
by the way, minor spoilers. But for the drama, the whole plot of the movie sort of revolves around a very important spoiler.
Yeah.
And that is what Jonah is referring to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think confusing is totally the appropriate response. I think that might have been the director's goal,
Yeah, sure.
you know?
But
And yeah, I mean, I said it was heartwarming because, you know, the movie has this recurring motif or this thing that happens where they pretend, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson pretend to meet each other for the first time a couple times throughout the movie, which I think is really what this film is all about. It's like about not judging our past. And it asks the question, like, can you love somebody who has a bit of baggage, you know? And if you don't know that baggage, does it affect the relationship? If you do know the baggage, does it affect the relationship? Like, and I thought it was beautiful because ultimately it proves what they're trying to say in the movie, at least what I got from it, was that like you can, you know, and you should. True love really is unwavered by the stresses of the past. It just sort of matters what foot you're putting forward and the version of yourself that you're trying to live. Because at the end there, you know, they're battered and bruised and beaten and they're sitting in that diner and it is the cutest fucking thing in the world, dude.
yeah, I love that at the end because she was like, it was her idea, right? Where like, I want to go eat a burger like they do after you win an Oscar or whatever, and then they end up doing that, and it's such a cool moment there at the end.
Yeah, and
I mean,
don't,
sad but cool.
it's sad, but it's also so beautiful because it's the next beginning of their relationship, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's like obviously the beginning was when they met, and then there's the second beginning
Yeah.
that really encapsulates what this movie is about.
But such good writing, like, and just the way, like, all the different story beats and stuff. You know, at the beginning where she's deaf in one ear, and you're like, oh, I wonder how that happened. And then you find out later on how it happens.
Yeah. And there's such riveting performances by those two. Like,
oh
I
my
love
God,
them
the
so
performance.
much.
When he comes home and is like dancing, it's like, oh my God.
They're so perfectly quirky and like they just seem like kind of a perfect odd couple in this movie. You know, I don't think if I was to cast this movie on paper and look at the script, I wouldn't be like Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. There definitely would not be the first people at the top of my mind. But obviously the team that brought this movie together saw something in them that proved us all wrong.
Yeah, they were great together. Yeah. But yeah, great movie. Yeah. Dark and funny and interesting topics and
Definitely gets people talking.
yeah.
It's a controversy by design.
yeah, but that's like his movies, I feel like a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Okay, the next movie we're going to talk about is the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Okay, a single word that this movie made you feel. I can go first.
Sure.
Stimulated.
Yeah, okay, yep. Definitely stimulating.
Yeah, it's definitely a stimulating movie.
For me, it would be fun.
Okay, that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
For the most part.
It's just, I don't know, if you grew up playing the Mario games or still play the Mario games, it's just fun to watch. I don't know. It's like I'm going in just for the entertainment and the fun and the nostalgia and all the Easter eggs, and I feel like that's what I got. And I thought the first one was funny and this one was funny too. And
Well, how do you think this one compares to the first one?
I would say it's pretty comparable. Like they both did a good job. I don't know if one is better than the other. Yeah.
Well, I have a hot take on that one.
Okay. What's your hot take?
The hot take is that the second one is definitely not as good as the first one.
Okay, fair enough.
First of all, let me just shout out Donald Glover's standout performance as Yoshi.
Okay. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. It's like literally just like, hey, Donald Glover, can we basically just say that you did the voice for him so that like to just like promote the movie? Like I'm sure he did it.
Well,
I'm sure
you can
he
tell it's him.
He recorded his voice saying Yoshi a couple times.
Yeah.
It's the same as like the Groot thing.
But I think Vin Diesel does it better. This is coming from somebody who loves Childish Gambino.
Sure,
I love Donald Glover.
But yeah, it's like you just say Yoshi a couple times, like, and then but like they're paying for his name to be on the movie.
Yeah,
like that's what it's for.
They're trying to add it to like
it's
the
so
list.
Funny. But the character of Yoshi was awesome in the movie. I loved having Yoshi in there. So like that little intro bit of him, it was so funny.
That was probably the best part of the movie. That like cool, like him walking through the city, like wait, because it ties directly into the post-credits scene from the first one where he's in the sewer. Like the egg is in the sewer.
I don't remember.
And then starts with him popping out of that sewer in this one. Which is like a little cheeky way to combine them. I think this movie definitely leans more into the video games.
Yeah.
A lot more. Like there's references up the wazoo.
Yeah.
Like the reason I chose the word stimulated was because it didn't necessarily overstimulate me, but it kept like ringing that dinner bell where I was like, oh, pay attention to this. Look at this. There's a cameo over here. Here's Glenn Powell as Fox, you know? Like there's a little bit of...
Oh yeah, I love Fox. That was fun to have Fox in there.
My girlfriend like was so excited about Fox's cameo. And I was like, that is what these movies are made for. They're made for, you know, guys in their late 20s, early 30s to go and have a good time. But they're also made for children.
Yeah.
Which is why I can't harp too hard on the stimulation part.
Yeah.
Because it definitely feels like a Cocomelon video.
Right.
Where they're like, have you ever seen that? No. Like, have you ever watched the sensory fruit videos?
No.
Where they're like dancing bananas?
No.
They're like, it's great. There's like EDM music and then there's just like dancing fruit on a black background. That's what this movie felt like to me. But I had a good time.
Yeah. No, like, yeah. I'm not going in there to watch a movie that's going to be like the best movie in the whole world and going to win an Oscar or something. I'm just going for the entertainment and the fun. And I feel like that's what I got.
I did want to note that there was no real plot of this movie. They just kind of go on a general direction.
They're trying to... No, like the little star guy says, like, we need your help saving their mom.
Yeah, but like also explain to me how Rosalina and Peach are related, and like, does this really matter to Peach? She seems like I don't know. I wanted a bit more plot.
I was upset about Bowser. I thought that he was actually going to be like good. They kind of like switched him back to evil so easily. That I was a little disappointed about.
Yeah, because you have some real character development there, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have this father-son relationship, and you think it's about teaching the next generation to be better, and it just doesn't end up being that. But I don't mind. I thought it was a good time.
One thing I'm not a fan of with the movies is having Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario is a little interesting choice. Like, why not get like the guy who actually was Mario or like an Italian person or something?
It's
like,
me, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, like it's a little
Luigi. We got to go on this adventure in Brooklyn.
I don't know, but anyway, what are you gonna do?
Okay, the next movie, a very special movie because our boy Jonah here on the other side of the mic worked on this movie, and we're talking about Ready or Not 2.
Here I come.
Here he comes.
I worked on this movie in the spring of 2025.
What did you do in the movie?
I was the second boom operator / wire technician, which is I put all the lav mics on all the actors, which is a job that I really enjoy. It's kind of like one of the main jobs I do. And yeah, I get to work with all the actors and get all those mics sounding good. Yeah, it was really cool movie to work on. Definitely one of the highlights
of your career so far?
Yeah, just like with such cool actors that I got to work with, like Elijah Wood. It was just so crazy because like Lord of the Rings are my favorite movies ever. And I get to work with Elijah Wood, and he was so cool. And then Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorite TV shows. And then I got to work with Sarah Michelle Gellar. And so it's just like my favorite movies, one of my favorite TV shows. And it was like, yeah, it was pretty wild. It was a really, really tough shoot, just schedule wise and just the things we had to do. I had to keep reminding myself to try to like enjoy it too, even though it was really tough to work on. And I think I did.
Yeah, I remember when you were shooting
But
it, you were telling me how much fun you were having, and work like this can be really hard.
yeah,
And can like sort of long days, tough
yeah, overnight
temperatures and overnights, but ultimately, we saw this movie together in
Yeah,
theaters.
we did.
That was so much
It was
fun.
so fun. Yeah, that was cool.
I don't think the fun of seeing your friend's name on the big screen is ever really going to go away, and it's happening more and more as we sort of become more and more established in the industry. And
Yeah.
it's just the best part of watching these movies now.
Yeah,
But a single word that describes your experience, not working on it,
yeah, like watching it.
that would be a very different word, I imagine.
Blood,
Blood. Ooh, I was going to say explosive.
explosive blood.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. There's like one particular part of the movie, like towards it is the climax,
Yeah,
where it's just that insane fountain of blood.
yeah, the big blood
It's
explosion.
like a geyser.
And it was real, which was so cool. It
Yeah,
was like
you were there
a
for
practical. Yeah, I was there for everything.
that. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, a bunch of people explode into blood, and they did it practically with like these big cannons under the set, and like they loaded it with like blood, and like they loaded it with like bits and pieces of to make it look like human
Chunks.
as well. And yeah, and then it went off. Like, so if you watch the movie The Big Blood Explosion, like I don't think there's any visual effects added to it, maybe a little bit, but when I was watching, it was such a huge amount. Like I don't remember watching the movie and thinking that it was any different than the like than the one we did. Like
Yeah.
it looked so good, and that special effects team was so good. Like all the effects they did on the movie, like all the practical stuff was amazing. They were so good, and they were testing all these things like way ahead of time. So
There's so much blood in that movie.
yeah, there's a
It's
lot
like
of
people
blood.
are covered in blood nonstop.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
was
so
great.
bad for these actors.
It was crazy. Yeah, they were. I think they kind of enjoyed it. Like, yeah, they no one was like, they never really complained or like seemed like annoyed by the blood. Like they kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were a little sick of it by the end.
They
But
signed up for it.
yeah,
It's
they know
literally
what
a
they're
movie about
exactly.
blood.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was fun.
And I think, we went with a group of friends, and I find it so rare that I leave a movie and I go, oh man, I need to do that more often, where I love to watch movies by myself.
Yeah.
And I think that is kind of the perfect way to watch a movie, depending on the movie. I say that because with this movie, we had a group of 10 people. Leaving the theater, I was like, that movie would not have been as fun sitting at
Yeah.
home. Like, I need to be in a movie theater. I need to, it's not gonna show up at the Academy Awards, but it is so, and I cannot emphasize this enough, it is so worth seeing with friends, because you are going to a theater, it's loud, and it's violent, and it's fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, it's in on its own premise, and it's absurd, like Satanism, I find. And I'm like, oh, I don't watch fun movies anymore. I don't think if you hadn't worked on this, and my other friends who had worked on this, if they weren't in it, I don't think I would have gone out of my way to have seen it, and I would have missed out on what was maybe one of the most fun movie experiences of 2026 so far.
But yeah, it was a fun movie. It's definitely a good movie on the big screen with all the action and the blood and everything, because there's a lot of action in the movie. I mean, when we were filming it, I was like, oh, this is actually going to be pretty good, I think, because you can kind of tell. And I thought it was pretty good. Like for that kind of genre, that kind of movie, like the horror kind of thriller, I don't always like them. Like I don't always find them very good, but it's kind of like Send Help a little bit, where it's like it has the comedy aspect and the serious aspect, and that's what makes it good. And like I like Send Help, like I like this movie. There's obviously gonna be some like plot holes a little bit, some weird story things, but no movie is perfect. But I feel like it did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the type of movie that you're not going to be bothered by those plot holes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like at the end, she chooses to give up all this power. Basically, she can rule the world
Yeah.
if she wanted to. And she gives it up just to see these people die instead of like being in control of them. And, you know, me sitting there going like, oh, but imagine what you could do. You know?
But that's the point. She's better than that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And that's, you know, sometimes these movies are a little make believe.
Yeah.
But that's the best part.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was really well paced. There was never really a lull in the movie, and every time there was a bit of a down moment, it picks itself back up by enticing you with another gory set piece or like action sequence. There's some really solid fight choreo in there. Oh my god, dude, the first major kill of this movie, from what I can remember, not the first major kill, maybe the second. The first while she's on the property of this, you know, mega mansion, is somebody getting put into a dryer, like an industrial dryer.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Holy shit. That might be the most like gruesome way I've seen somebody killed in a movie, you know? Just the idea of being put into, was it a washing machine?
It was, yeah, an industrial washing machine.
Yeah, with like boiling hot water. Basically like melts the skin off of this person's face.
Crazy.
That's the kind of stuff that I live for in these movies, you know? It makes you like leave and just go like, oh, whoa. That's what I think what I kind of meant by explosive is that even if there's not like actual explosions, even though the blood explosion at the end does the job, throughout the movie, it's like just kind of keeps like enticing you with these little like pops of flavor.
But that was cool. They actually, like where we were filming in the Royal York Hotel, like basement, like in their actual like industrial laundry room, and they built like the laundry machine that he goes in. They built like a fake one for their stunt, and they made it look like the other ones. Like it was pretty cool.
That's so sick.
Cool, yeah.
How long did it take to shoot Ready or Not 2?
Yeah, I believe it was about 30 days, which isn't a lot of time for a movie
Of that scale.
Yeah, like it was quite a big budget, but also at the same time not huge like it. And so yeah, we were moving pretty fast. It was tough in regards to that.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
But we did it.
Yeah. Faux show.
But yeah, it was such a good cast all around. Like all the casts were so good together, like a really good ensemble, I feel like. And there was a lot of cool Toronto/Canadian actors in it. Like a lot of the characters are from Canada, Toronto.
Shout out to friend of the pod Emily Stranges, who plays Bridezilla.
Oh yeah,
that was so much fun to see.
Yeah, that was so cool. It's cool when you see, friends or people when you're working on these movies.
Yeah, we got some in the acting department. We got some in the sound department.
Yeah.
We got, a little all over the place.
In regards to like it being tough, it was mostly on location. The only set was the clubhouse where they're tied up in the chairs. That was a set. And then the end ritual set, I don't know what you would call that, the
sacrifice,
the shrine pit thing.
Yeah,
that was also a set, but not even in a studio. It was like in a old church building. They built the set in there. Yeah.
Whoa, that's a crazy build.
Yeah, like that. The whole thing is a set, except for like the roof. Basically, it was really crazy. Otherwise, we were on location all over, like Hamilton, Brantford, Toronto. There was a lot.
Wow.
Our crew gift was a T-shirt that was like the Ready or Not tour, and it had like all the locations on the back of it because it was we went to so many.
That's a great shirt. Every time I see you wear it, I'm just like, oh man,
it's fun. Yeah, but yeah, it's cool to see a movie you work on the big screen always, and for it to be like good as well is kind of a bonus. So super cool.
I love at the end of seeing a movie that was shot in Toronto. If you're going to one of the major theaters in Toronto, you can always just like stay through the credits, and you can tell who's worked on the movie if they stay through the credits of a movie that doesn't have a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
They're like, we had our group, we all stayed, but then as we got up to leave, I assumed the theater was going to be empty. we turned around and there was like little pockets of people that had also worked on the movie.
Yeah.
That was just a random screening too,
Yeah.
which was awesome. The next movie we're going to talk about is a movie that Jonah saw, but I didn't.
The Peaky Blinders movie. The Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, which did come out in theaters. I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, but obviously it was on Netflix. And I love the show. I watched the show. Such an amazing show. And so yeah, had to watch the movie. And it was fantastic. It was so good. Like just a good movie on its own, regardless of the show. Obviously the show makes it way better when you know all the stuff. It was so good. It looked awesome.
Give me a word. I want that.
Oh
I
yeah,
want
the
that
word.
single word.
Oh yeah, the word. Brutal.
Ooh, I like that.
Because yeah, there's just a lot of brutal stuff. I feel like Peaky Blinders is just a brutal show. Like the fighting is brutal. The stuff they do to people is really brutal. All the backstabbing and stuff. They have this crazy fight in this pig pen kind of thing where it's just like this big mud pit and all these pigs are around, and then Cillian Murphy is fighting his son, and they are like tackling and fighting each other in the mud, and they're just like rolling around in mud and like but it was so well done. I saw some cool BTS photos from that, and I think I read a thing where that was like one of the first things they filmed. Actually, they have these kind of cool fight scenes like that, and then some deaths that are like really surprising. But yeah, it looked really good. Like the Peaky Blinders show looks really good too. Like it has such a cool aesthetic and like the lighting and stuff, and yeah, it was good movie. I feel like they kind of started a new storyline. Like they could do more show, I think.
Is the show over?
The show is over.
This is like the
And then
final.
they did like a movie. And like they ended the show in a good way. Like I don't think it got canceled or anything. I think they ended it like on purpose. But then I guess they wanted to do this movie and to kind of finish off the story even more, I guess, to kind of pass on to the next generation of Peaky Blinders.
What did you think about the recasting of his son in Barry Keoghan?
I don't think it's a recast.
I don't think he's Barry Keoghan. I think it is a recast.
Barry is not in the show. His son isn't in, like this son, the son that Barry plays
Is not
in the movie isn't in the show.
Oh, okay.
I think he's in it at the like very, very end, but like he doesn't really have anything. But if they do a show continuing with this character, I wonder if they'll have Barry or someone else. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a big actor. That show is going to get more and more expensive to make.
Yeah.
As these names blow up.
But yeah, it was great. And I do have to say the show and always sounds really good. And the movie also sounded really good. So. Especially with all those old costumes. It's kind of tricky. So yeah, it was great.
I mean, like the only thing I've really seen of Peaky Blinders is maybe like the first 10 minutes of the first episode. And I immediately was floored by the production value.
Yeah.
I was like,
amazing.
How did they do this?
Yeah, it's amazing. The sets and everything.
It's just like streets upon streets of like done up time period. Like it's really mind-boggling.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's a bit of a slow show, but once you're kind of invested, it's good. And
do you think I'd enjoy this movie even if I haven't seen the show?
Yes, you definitely would enjoy this movie if you haven't seen the show.
Okay,
For sure. Nice. It's still like a good movie.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. That's my one fear. You know, I could have seen this, but then I was like, is this going to be spoiling the entirety of the show for me? You know?
Yeah, like it would potentially spoil stuff from the show. Yeah, like a lot of deaths. Okay, so a movie that Leandro saw that I haven't seen yet is called Mother Mary with Anne Hathaway. It looks like a very interesting movie. What's the word that you would say it made you feel?
The word that I'm going to use to describe David Lowery's Mother Mary is ethereal. Like I don't know if that describes it properly, but I think I left that theater feeling like I had just been taken on an experiential journey. David Lowery, he did Green Knight. I mean, The Green Knight is, I think, the only other David Lowery movie that I've seen. And I personally really loved The Green Knight. The thing with David Lowery movies is that, at least with The Green Knight and Mother Mary, some of it you can't really tell what is real and what is in the mind of the characters. I saw the trailer for Mother Mary months ago, and I was like, I have no gosh darn idea what this movie could be about. I'm glad I didn't really look it up. I just sort of made an impulsive decision to go see this, and it was very worth it. It's a very strange movie. I don't think the public would love it. I don't think like it's a mass appeal sort of deal, you know? Ultimately, it's a movie about a pop singer played by Anne Hathaway, who's kind of this amalgam of Taylor Swift and Lorde, and it's like Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I was going to say the trailer looks like Lady Gaga, kind of, with all the crazy costumes.
And that's what it's about, her reconnecting with her costume designer, played by Michaela Cole, who was absolutely phenomenal. But they have an estranged relationship, and I think Anne Hathaway's character, you know, Mother Mary is her stage persona. She's sort of toward not the end of her career, but she's had a very long career, and at some point you don't really know why, but they had a falling out, and the movie really just follows their reconnection. She shows up at Michaela Cole's studio in the UK, and she's crying and she's drenched in rain, and all she's like, I need you to make me a dress. And the entire thing is sort of this dialogue between these two artists, one who feels like, you know, Michaela Cole's designer feels like Mother Mary doesn't or never appreciated the visuals that she imbued into her being. Like, so much of a pop star is what they look like. And I think it's about ego, and it's about artistic relationships, and how much of yourself do you give to somebody else without any credit. There's a part of the movie where an interview, I don't know if they mentioned Vogue by name, but feels like it was like a Vogue interview where somebody asks her, oh, like, how did you come up with this idea for this dress? And Michaela Cole is recounting how Anne Hathaway's character, despite not having created that dress or the idea around that dress, took credit for it. And that, I think, summarizes this movie. It's like, I'm having a hard time putting it into words, but it is so spiritual. There's a big spirituality element in this movie that's hard to put your finger on. Don't go into Mother Mary expecting anything that is going to explain things to you. This movie does not tell you what's happening the entire time, you know, and it's gruesome, man.
And so you liked the movie.
I loved it. I loved Mother Mary. I thought it was fantastic. I didn't think it was a perfect movie, but it definitely got the cogs working in my brain.
The only perfect movie is Shrek.
That's true. Shrek and Shrek 2.
Yeah.
I do think Shrek 2 might be the masterpiece.
Maybe, yeah.
But that's another pod, you know. The Shrek 2
25th anniversary.
Wait until the 25th anniversary of this pod, and then we'll start talking about Shrek. It'll be like our holy grail.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I definitely recommend going to see Mother Mary. It is. Don't look it up. Don't read too much into it. I hope I didn't say too much.
Just watch it.
Just go watch it.
Just watch it. I'll go watch it.
But it is. You have to be okay with gore.
Yeah.
There's some really intense imagery with self-harm and but not in a way that's like grounded in reality. It's like, you know, somebody will get stabbed in the chest, and then like a ghost made out of red fabric will come out of their body, you know, and then they'll be in this black void of a backdrop in this sort of like very picturesque, like painting-esque image. There's a lot of like really gorgeous painting like frames in this movie.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool. All right.
Jonah's next movie is maybe the hot movie of the summer.
The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Wow, so many years in the making. It's back, baby.
Yeah.
Speaking of Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. Big year for Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. Thank God. I miss Anne Hathaway.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
All right. Give me that word, Jonah. What did this make you think of? Word association. Devil Wears Prada 2.
Let me think about it. Friendship.
Ooh. Okay. I'll take it.
Because there's some really nice friendship stuff in the movie. Obviously, I've heard of the first movie. I had never actually seen it. Victoria wanted to see the new one. I'm like, okay, I'll watch the first one. Like, I've never seen it. It's kind of a cultural thing. And I was like, oh, it's a good movie. Yeah, I'm glad I saw the first one because you kind of need to see the first one to know. It definitely helps with all the stuff in the second one.
Yeah.
But I was actually really blown away by the movie.
Really?
It was a really good movie, just like a good movie in general. I actually liked it more than the first one. It's
Whoa.
like based in present day, like it's 20 years after the first one, which is from 2006, so 20 years later. And so all the stuff going on today is relevant, and the main premise is the magazine like is dying, like because people don't read magazines anymore and all this, and so it's all about that kind of stuff. And so I really liked it for that, for like the relevancy of today. They did a really good job with AI a little bit ruining some of the writing book like magazine stuff, and certain magazines or newspapers going under, like all that kind of stuff. Other than that, like it was just like kind of fun acting, good. Like the imagery is amazing. Like it looked amazing,
Yeah.
with just like the sets and especially the costumes, obviously. And they go to like Italy. Like it was actually really good on the big screen. Didn't think I would actually like it as much as I did, but it was actually really good. And Stanley Tucci is awesome, and I mean they're all great. Like Meryl Streep is amazing.
Yeah,
And
what a cast.
yeah, such a good cast.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
She's in this one too.
Yeah. A good cameo is BJ Novak from The Office is in it, and he plays the perfect asshole rich guy, kind of tech bro-y
Oh, nice.
kind of guy. He's just so funny. There were so many funny like HR stuff where like
woke
Meryl's
humor.
Yeah, where it was really funny where like they're like telling Meryl Streep, like she's like, you can't say that, you can't say that, like stuff like that. It's like, and like BJ Novak's whole thing is like, all right guys, I mean people. I like that kind of humor. Is funny.
Yeah, it was like referential to the because it's hard with a movie like that to
It was funny.
show up 20 years later and be like, okay, we're gonna make this
Yeah.
good and relevant and not like a money grab.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, you can definitely tell, like, I think like like I'm sure there are certain things to please the audience, but like it felt like the original one in the sense of the independent aspect of it. Like obviously it's a huge budget like studio movie, but it felt like the director had a lot of say, like, and they kind of were able to do what they wanted with it, and wasn't just some like silly studio movie.
Oh, good.
Which was cool. Yeah, it was great, and it's like the original director too, and everything. So
Oh, nice. So they came
yeah,
back for it.
yeah. So the last movie that we're going to talk about, or Leandro will talk about, is another movie I didn't see yet, and this movie is called Lorne.
Yeah, it's that Lorne Michaels documentary that just came out.
Oh, so it's a documentary.
It is a doc.
Oh, I thought it was like a narrative biopic.
No,
kind of thing.
no,
So
it's a doc.
Oh, interesting.
And it might be one of my favorite documentaries that I've seen, period. I guess a word that I would pick to describe this movie at a glance, or the feeling that it gave me, was inspiring. Lorne Michaels is a Canadian like us, and this film is sort of the first time he's allowed anybody officially to sort of document his life and like dig a little bit deeper into him. I don't know if you know anything about Lorne Michaels.
Not really. Just like the SNL stuff a little bit. I knew he was Canadian, but yeah, I don't know how he like got there.
Well, he doesn't talk about it. Like he doesn't let people into his circle
Yeah.
a lot. And he's sort of known as this being of mystery, even within the SNL world.
Yeah.
Where everybody he's sort of like the god of improv comedy.
Yeah.
And this movie talks a lot about his early career, but it balances it and it brings you into the story through interviews with current day cast members. And you have people like Colin Jost and Michael Che sitting down, and they're asking questions to the documentarian about Lorne. Like the documentarian will be like, so like, who is Lorne Michaels? Like, what do you know about him? And they're just like, I don't know anything about Lorne. Like he has a place in Maine that he goes to. He likes this restaurant. He likes this restaurant. He doesn't wake up before 4 p.m.
What?
Lorne, everything at SNL, I found out, thanks to this movie, revolves around Lorne's schedule. So there's if a meeting is set for like 3 p.m., it's going to happen at like 6.
Wait, what?
He wakes up, he goes to bed so late because of the structure of SNL that he will.
Yeah, but you're saying that it's because of his schedule?
It is. It's
Or like
entirely because of his schedule.
But I remember from the SNL movie that came out that like that was the time slot they got, like, right?
Yeah, I mean that is the time slot that there's a bit of that network backstory,
Right. But anyway, so he.
But
so
it's about him and like
Wow.
the rituals that they hold and like his relationship with the cast members, and how he came and went in the early days of SNL.
Yeah, because he left for a little bit, but then he
did.
and comes back.
Yeah, and it sort of chronicled how he grew up in Canada, the stuff that he did here, and then his move to Los Angeles. Or I don't know what came first, LA or New York, but as somebody who is also moved to Los Angeles, it felt very inspiring because he starts SNL in his late 20s. It's right in the pocket of where we are in our careers. I'm just like, oh man, you can achieve such greatness. And I love SNL. I love comedy and I love movies, and having a movie like this that really tries to peel back the mystique of Lorne Michaels.
Is he in it?
He is, but he tries not to be.
Oh, really?
And the whole joke of this movie is that like Lorne has finally begrudgingly accepted that this movie is going to be made about him. And he's signed off on it, but every opportunity he gets, he will try to take the conversation away from him. So like he'll bring the documentarian into a room and be like, look, it's the costume designer. And then he'll talk to the costume designer. He'll turn back to Lorne and he's gone, and then he'll like be in his office by himself. Lorne Michaels loves popcorn. There's popcorn everywhere in this movie. It's so lighthearted.
Does he talk a little bit
He
about
does.
himself?
He definitely talks about himself, but it's still restrained.
That's so
It's more
interesting.
about the outward perception of Lorne and the information that the documentarian was able to piece together based on the unfettered access that he had to Lorne's circle. And like there are these like famous SNL pre-show dinners, and like the dinners that he takes the weekly guests out to, that we get to sit down and sort of like see the behind the scenes of. And that is so great. Just like, even if you just like SNL at any period,
Yeah.
I think it's fun to see that sort of like how the sausage is made a little bit.
Is Will Ferrell in it?
Will is not, he doesn't speak, but obviously we see him a little bit. It is Steve Martin's in it.
Oh, cool.
Catherine O'Hara is in it. A lot of the big SNL alum are in it, but it does a good job of also keeping it up to date enough where it doesn't feel like a trip down memory lane. It's like, this is what Lorne is doing now.
Right.
This is why he's doing it. And, he's almost 90 years old. Like
Whoa, really?
I think Lorne might, let me
And
fact check
they
myself.
just released the SNL UK, which is doing really well.
Yeah. He's 81.
Was he part of that SNL UK thing?
I think he must have been. I don't know if he had an official part in it.
But yeah, it's funny.
But I mean, like, even I didn't know that Lorne worked on a show for the CBC. Like, that's how he started his career. And I was like, oh my God, the CBC is he's from Toronto.
Is he from Toronto?
Yeah. It was so funny. In university, for some reason, I was talking to a counselor about scholarships or something. And I had mentioned that I was in the film program, and they were like, oh, I'm like related to Lorne Michaels. And at the time, I didn't really know who Lorne Michaels was. And they were making jokes about being able to connect me with Lorne Michaels. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Should have done it.
If I had the brain that I have now, boy, oh boy, would I have jumped on any opportunity to.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's a beautiful portrayal of Lorne Michaels. And if you don't know how important he is to the landscape of late night TV, he vouched for Conan. That's the only reason Conan's late night show exists, really. Yeah, just the history of comedy and TV and show business in its prime years. It's a really beautiful movie, and it leaves you feeling hopeful for the future. And yeah, big fan. Thanks, Lorne.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm going to have to watch it. Yeah, those are pretty much all the movies that we've seen so far. There's obviously some other ones, but I've watched a lot of like not old movies, but like
Non-new releases.
Yeah, like non-new releases.
You know, there's a lot of really cool movies coming
There's
out
a
this
lot
summer.
of stuff coming out.
I mean, I
There's a
see that
lot of
smile on your
stuff.
face. There's one in particular that I'm very, very
yeah.
excited for.
Oh,
little
yeah.
Mando and Grogu.
Oh yeah.
Mrogu, maybe?
But yeah, we got some other cool episodes hopefully coming out soon. Thanks for listening to us talk about movies. It's always fun just to chat and
Drop us a follow if you're not subscribed to the podcast and you're still listening to this point. We really appreciate it, and I think you might enjoy joining our little family. So subscribe wherever you are, and we have socials. They're in the description of this podcast.
go watch a movie.
That's our call to action. Go see a movie.
Yeah.
You know, and then find us on Instagram and then send us a DM and have the DM say one word. Don't say anything else. Nothing. Don't introduce yourself. Don't just send a one word. And the word is about the movie that you saw. And then we'll try to respond and tell you what movie we think it is. I think
That's a good idea. Great idea.
All right. Go to the movies.
Bye.
Bye.